I'm really excited to be here. Gardner-Webb is an easy sell. I mean, you can focus on the things that you need to focus on. I think you win in life with people. That was a big reason that I chose to come to Gardner-Webb, was because of the people, because of the character of our players.
And it's one out by Gardner-Webb, and who else? Jhessyka Williams with the first touches of the game. She had 30 points yesterday in the semifinal. Again, an overtime win over Radford. It was the toughest game in conference play that the Runnin Bulldogs have played all year. And right away, you can just see the high point energy off the bench.
Jordan Edwards making sure that she was in the right place at the right time, drawing that foul on Alasia Smith, who is definitely one of those players that plays extremely hard, plays with the motor, does all the little things.
Well, here's Jordan Edwards, point guard for High Point. Again, the 2 seed in the conference, went 13-5 over the course of the Big South season, which is a good mark. Just got a little bit overshadowed there as we have another foul, and this one on Smith. That's the first one for Alasia Smith, as Lauren Bevis got the last one.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was about to worry about. If Alasia Smith got that second foul, I'm like, oh no.
Big South Defensive Player of the Year, Smith, as she gets caught looking there. And you can just see the energy here for High Point as Terrell with her first bucket.
High Point's going to have to play a great game in order to beat Gardner-Webb.
Cox underneath gets hacked. Cox at the free throw line. Micaiah Terrell, just talked about her for High Point. She's just a sophomore on this team. I mean, both of these teams very heavy with upperclassmen who have kind of been there, done that. But Terrell's one of the young players, the future of this conference. We have a lane violation against Gardner-Webb, so that's not going to count.
And Gardner-Webb has had a couple of offensive miscues here to start the game where maybe the jitters are getting a hold of them a little bit.
Might have got a hold of them yesterday. Got down by as many as 13 points in the first half. Had to storm all the way back and force that game to overtime against the 4 seed in Radford. As Curran on the perimeter. Again, it is very loud in here. Both teams traveled extremely well. Terrell drives to the hoop. Kick out. Here's Hager for 3. Swish.
And here's the thing, when you are the toast of the conference like Gardner-Webb, you're going to have that target on your back, and you're going to get everybody's first punch. And also, because you've gone undefeated in the league, how awesome would it be if you were that team that beat them? And so you're seeing High Point's best punch to start this game.
This is a one-bid league as we see a double dribble for Williams.
It's so important about March is if you can play a great season, regular season, but if you don't do your job, you will come out of here and not be in the NCAA tournament. They average around 14 offensive boards a game.
Yeah, by far the most in the league. Williams for 3. She's got it.
And that's what we talked about. Jhessyka Williams came into this league not as a shooter, but somebody who could just score the ball.
Curran, another miss. Now High Point's only baskets have come off of turnovers. Williams, this is a 2. And she's got it again. Don't want to let her get going.
She's player of the year for a reason. Just showing her ability. If you're going to play her with space, which was the scout report that High Point wanted to present upon her, she didn't take any threes in the first game. And so now she's just trying to show, I have the ability to spread the floor with the 3. That's going to open up her drives next.
She's got 5 points. Hager, that one rattles in. The freshman, big moment for her. There's a couple of injuries with this High Point team, and she's getting the start as it looks like we had a little mishap on the inbound.
They're going to have to do other things to make sure that they can attain the ball.
Williams off the block. By the way, she just surpassed 2,000 career points. Gets an assist there to Alasia Smith. 2001 career points for Jhessyka Williams. She's only the 3rd player to do that in Gardner-Webb history, but how sweet would it be to end it with a ring and a trip to the big dance?
Absolutely, and she's been the catalyst of this program. Her defense leads to easy offense like we just saw. She was able to get a block on High Point's best offensive player, get out in the open floor, pass it to Alasia Smith, and finish.
Hager off the glass and in. Kane way off on that pass, not on the same page with Cox there, and High Point will just slow the tempo a little bit here. Curran First team all-conference, over 300 made threes in her career. As she drives and cannot finish there. Edwards for three, scores. That was a little bit of the story yesterday against Radford too. Gardner-Webb just got rattled early. Like I said, dug themselves into a pretty big hole and had to claw their way back. Alasia Smith, charge.
Yes, and that's the thing. This team hasn't seen much adversity based on how they've been beating teams. But yesterday was a great test for them against Radford, where their backs were against the wall and came out swinging.
Well, Jensen Edwards hits there. This is the largest lead for High Point today. Just early in the first quarter as Kiara Kane just takes to the rack. Can't finish. Cox on the second chance, and there's that offensive rebound that you were talking about. That's
one thing that Gardner-Webb does is they will press on you even after a missed shot. They will throw different defensive scopes at you just to put pressure on you.
Jensen Edwards sinks that one.
Yeah, Jensen Edwards had to take up a lot of the offensive brunt there. You see her getting the ball. And now they're working on adjusting to getting back to full strength.
One final look in the first quarter for Jordan Edwards.
Making sure that they go off ball screens, get the ball into the paint, make high percentage basketball plays. And if High Point can keep them out of that, that's going to work in their favor.
Bulldogs not shooting particularly well either, as Hager, who has 7 points, is off the mark on that one. But you see the offensive board by Baskerville. Gonna get a 3-second call though.
Understand that paint area is the danger zone also.
Start of the second quarter. Kari Kane off to Bevis, looking for her first points today. Not that time around. We talked about it off air, but they're face guarding her very tightly.
Yeah, she hasn't gotten a ton of looks. She's having to fight, as you see there, extremely hard to put the ball in the basket, but she is such a talented player.
First team all-conference, she was runner-up, Bevis was, for player of the year. She lost to Jhessyka Williams.
It makes sense.
Yep.
It makes sense because we've seen Bevis go crazy in the conference where she can run off a ton of threes in a hurry.
It's really shocking that High Point has done this without any baskets from Curran at all.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they're trying to keep the ball out of Curran's hands. Curran has gotten some looks, but they've been tough ones. Very similar to how they're playing against Bevis. That is how they're playing against Skylar Curran.
Edwards commits the foul, Jensen Edwards, for High Point. And so Gardner-Webb will get a possession here. 3 threes per game. See the names ahead of her. Caitlin Clark, pretty good player, I've heard. Here's Bevis, right on cue.
Yeah, Bevis is fighting for her life to get daylight at this point. There's coverage on her. They're blitzing her. They're making it really difficult for her to get to her spots, but she's still being able to get there.
Cuts the lead to 4 for the 1 seed in the Big South tournament.
This is when Gardner-Webb is dangerous, when they can get down the floor in a hurry and get to their spots. You see there, Cox with the post up and finishing over her left shoulder. And this is what happens when High Point is not set on defense. There's isolations that Gardner-Webb can take advantage of.
Edwards just dribbling around, and she turns it over.
Gardner-Webb has made some adjustments in the first quarter to the second quarter, and you're seeing it come to fruition now.
Amaria McNear comes in the game for the Panthers.
She serves as a rim protector, but also somebody who can rebound the ball for the Panthers.
Cox does not take many threes, misses that one. Smith back in the game. The hoop, and potentially the harm. She's headed to the free throw line.
Yeah, that all happened due to a second chance point created by Jhessyka Williams, who was able to corral the ball somehow, get it to Alasia Smith. Alasia Smith lays it up with the contact. Great pass from Jhessyka Williams, great finish from Alasia Smith.
Foul on McNear. Free throw is good, and that's a lead for the Bulldogs.
We'll talk about Williams' stat line real quick. 5 points, 1 block, 6 rebounds, 2 assists.
Jordan Edwards off the cut. McNear gets blocked. What a rejection from Smith. Ooh, looks like they're going to call a foul. And that would be 3.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I see the inadvertent contact after the shot was blocked. Alasia Smith was as smooth as you can be when it comes to going after that shot.
And again, that's 3 fouls. McNear sinks the first free throw, but what do you do here, Simmons?
She's such an impactful player, and you were down for a second there, and she's one of the reasons why Gardner-Webb has been able to come back. But I don't see anybody coming over to the table to substitute, and that's just showing a lot of trust in your player with 7 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Gardner-Webb, 4 of their last 5 from the field. Bevis, like you said, fighting for every touch today. A little spin move. Tries a runner. She had 4 defenders on her.
4 defenders on her, and if you noticed, High Point tried to keep her isolated on the right side of the floor so that they couldn't get offensive circulation and balance.
Jordan Edwards on the reset. Started her career at Niagara. It's been a big part of this High Point team. Great distributor, second in the conference in assists. Grabs one there. Kane, first in the conference in assists. Cox is posting up down low. Williams drives. We'll get a 3-second violation. That's the second one we've seen, one for each team. That was on Cox. Here's Jensen Edwards. Tries to drive baseline. Does, little reverse layup.
Jensen Edwards, where she was able to cross over, hesitate, cross back over to get to the baseline. Notice the help side was late. Finishing.
Another foul and another make here as Cox will look to complete the 3-point play. Cox rattles in there. If Gardner-Webb's a little bit tired because they played to overtime against Radford yesterday, and they were down so big, double digits twice over the course of the game, including down 10 in the second half, and so that was just a physical, hard-fought battle, and now they have to play the next day.
Yeah, and sure, like, you know, that's definitely something that you got to factor in. If you are Gardner-Webb going into overtime, working extremely hard from behind, and you see there, you wonder if it's going to have an impact on them moving forward.
High Point, on the other hand, solid second half as we see a rejection from McNear. Lots of turnovers for the Runnin Bulldogs. And Edwards has 8 points. Very efficient day, 4 for 5 from the field. And he's got 4 rebounds to go along with it for High Point. And that's where we stand. Again, John Williams, Morris Sheridan. Here's Williams.
And she's like, you have to shoot the ball to be a threat, to be able to spread the floor so that you can get to your drives, get to what you do best. And so there, she's just showing that I will take it. I have the ability to do that.
Curran gets fouled. Skylar Curran, 29 points against Campbell in that semifinal game. And now she finally gets her first points on a free throw.
Yeah, it was definitely needed for her to come alive against a very scrappy, good defensively minded Campbell team, where if you don't show your ability to shoot the 3, you will lose. And so they came in with Skylar Edwards leading at the helm.
Swish on that one for Kane. Well, you need that because the Runnin Bulldogs just have so many pure scorers, and she's been such a great distributor and really bought into her role with this program. Curran, deep 3, no good.
And you can tell Curran's a little frustrated because she's getting good looks. The ball isn't going into the basket right now. She's 0 for 7 from the field, and so most of those shots, I would say, are good shots that she is capable of making at a high clip.
There you go, Kane. 11-2 run for Gardner-Webb. Jari Kane getting hot. Senior on this Runnin Bulldogs team.
Yeah, and teams will play Kane with space, especially if she doesn't show her ability to shoot the ball. Right now, Right now, you were seeing Kane get to her bag a little bit. She got to the mid-range jumper, recognizing that there's space. And if you play her with space, she's like, that's too much space for me, Edwards. I got to let you know that I am willing and capable of taking that three.
Williams wants to go, turns on the jets. Always dangerous when she does that.
It really is. She was able to get to the middle of the floor very quickly, where then she could just get Terrell on her shoulder and finish right over her.
Extending that lead for the Runnin Bulldogs here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Curran, straight away three, knocks that down. Thunderberg off the side of the backboard. Terrell. Got 4 points for early points in the first quarter, and she gets mauled underneath. And then Niak comes in and makes all the difference. Definitely an unsung hero.
And Simmons loves her because of her athletic ability.
For the 38th year, Champ Week continues on the networks of ESPN tomorrow with the West Coast Conference semifinals, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ESPN, then at 11:30 Eastern and 8:30 Pacific on ESPN2. Alex Simmons done such a great job, again, in 5 years with this program. Of course, she's used to winning. She played for Tennessee from 2004 to 2008, so for Pat Summitt, as Williams gets hacked. Blocking foul. Williams in and out on the free throw. Yeah, Simmons, again, won 2 national championships with Tennessee. He was on the same team as Candace Parker, so.
It is fun when you get to play fun, fast basketball. You're pressing, applying pressure, getting out in the open floor, getting open threes. That's fun basketball for you.
Good move by Edwards there.
And Jensen Edwards had Niak on her, who was putting a ton of pressure on her, forced her to drive, but Jensen Edwards is a wily veteran who knows how to finish.
She's got 10 points, 5 for 6 from the field. Jhessyka Williams takes it to the rack, uses the window to help her out. There's one final heave. Woo! Almost goes in to end that first half. Here we go, start of the second half. It's been loud here in Bojangles Coliseum. A great crowd on hand for this women's championship. We saw the men's championship right here a little bit earlier. It's an early turnover. Williams doesn't have numbers, so she'll just pull it back.
Gardner-Webb coming out with a matchup zone, really putting pressure on one pass away where you got to make the skip pass. If there's any air under that pass, Gardner-Webb is going to shoot the gaps like they just did and get themselves a steal.
Usually get about 10 steals per game as Terrell rattles out. Of course, that's a conference leading mark.
Yeah, they usually turn the other team over about 20-odd times. 10 of those are steals, so they do a really good job of just making it tough for you to get into your stuff, make you have to make errors.
Cox is headed to the free throw line. She's got 10 rebounds. Lakin Cox, just a sophomore. This is a starting lineup of all upperclassmen. Do the little things as well. You need those blue-collar players on your roster.
And Cox could be a go-to type of player that can help for the Bulldogs next year.
There's a shot clock violation.
The second time you saw him playing a red-style man-to-man defense. And so just making sure that High Point stays off rhythm offensively.
Bevis trying to get open. Does not. Kiara Kane drives instead, too strong, and it goes off of High Point.
So she cannot get touches because she is a difference maker. Instead of you getting beat by twos, she can run up the score really quickly just by daylight.
Williams long two, knocks that down. Yeah, it's a pick your poison.
Jhessyka Williams, just understand, you're going to go under the screen. I'm going to make you pay. Knocking down that mid-range jumper. She's got 15.7 rebounds.
Curran in the lane, gets the roll, and she might have got elbowed by Alasia Smith in the aftermath of that. Now remember, Smith has 3 fouls, and we'll see what the referees do here. Lauren Bevis, who got a shiner in the quarterfinal game.
You can tell Bevis wears it as a badge of honor. She loves it. And honestly, it's just like when you look at her, you're like, oh, she's not the one.
Yes. Yeah, it's actually friendly fire. She got it from a teammate. I'm sure that's not the story she will tell her kids someday.
Yeah. Well, no, this is what it really is.
Cox underneath.
Gardner-Webb really doing a good job on the offensive boards. They crash so hard, creating so many opportunities. Cox has 11 points, 11 rebounds now. She's got a double-double.
Fantastic game as Hager travels. Some of that pressure getting to High Point now.
Finishing at the basket. Gardner-Webb has 8 points, 8 offensive rebounds so far.
Williams in the paint.
She's having herself a clinic in that mid-range. Even though Cox is a role player, she serves a great role in rebounding the ball.
So there's a little bit of chaos in the paint there. Smith now has 4 fouls. You can't risk her fouling out here in the third quarter.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact there. I think Jordan Edwards was in a baiting situation there.
Curran gets her own rebound and scores.
It's good to see Skylar Curran back on the floor. She's going to be needed.
Yes, she is. Cox in traffic gets hacked.
She also is serving as a offensive board crasher where she is just always trying to keep the ball alive.
Lakin Cox hit the first one. Second one also good. She's now 5 for 6 from the free throw line.
And that's a great skill to have because they can't just hone in on you to hack and shack you.
Yeah. Terrell takes advantage. It's definitely rattling when you first see it, I think. Lots of combo guards out there, so a lot of length for Gardner-Webb. Kane for 3. No. Rebound High Point. Jensen Edwards creates some space here. Panthers want to go. It's Terrell in transition. She'll slow. Jensen Edwards on the baseline. Knocks it down.
Jensen Edwards knowing that they are gunning for her. Getting to the three-point line.
That's what makes High Point being in this game so impressive. You told me that their superstar, first team all-conference, was not going to have a good game. I would tell you this would be a lopsided score. It's not.
One of those impact players offensively if High Point wants to win this game.
McNear, Terrell for the triple, rattles home.
Couldn't be bigger than right now for Terrell.
Williams goes to work, drives to the lane, too easy.
There is not an answer for Jhessyka Williams, especially when she shows her ability to knock down the mid-range. She's got 21 points right now, 8 rebounds, but her ability to shoot the ball is opening up her drives now. You just saw McNear hit the deck.
Cash on that one. Jensen Edwards. Panthers within 3 now.
And Jensen Edwards has got 14 points of efficient basketball today.
Right, she's 7 for 10 from the field. Gary Kane tries to get fancy with it. No good. One final shot maybe for Terrell. Goes to the hoop. Hits it. She got hacked.
Yeah.
Short does not tie it up, but that went off of Gardner-Webb.
Her length has been an issue for Gardner-Webb all day.
Jensen Edwards, 5 seconds to shoot here to end the third quarter. Drives baseline, squares up, yes! High Point leads. We're going to the fourth quarter.
Big shot for Jensen Edwards. Getting to that spot, she's knocked down that shot.
She's got 16 points, and that's where we sit right now. And High Point surely has made it difficult.
Yes, they have. They've done everything they could to make it difficult for Gardner-Webb to play comfortable basketball.
Sarah Matthews in the game for Gardner-Webb. First time in the fourth quarter of the championship game, and she gets rejected big time. Jensen Edwards pulls it back here. A lot of big names on the bench right now. Cox, of course, having a fantastic game on the bench. Bevis out, so is Alasia Smith. Terrell, short, second chance, no. Weak side rebound, grabbed by Sarah Matthews.
Yeah, what you're seeing is obviously Alasia Smith and Cox. You gotta hold firm with them until it's winning time.
Kane reverse layup. Yes.
Kane stepping up.
Curran, Williams fighting for it. Two of the best players in the conference.
Yeah, and I think she might have messed her knee up. It was right in front of us.
Jhessyka Williams in a ton of pain right now. She's trying to get up. You see her teammates looking to help her. That's a fighter right there.
She's tough, man. Tough as nails.
See this loose ball. Yeah, it's just an awkward landing there for Williams.
You see the knee kind of go in a little bit, and you see them both fighting for that ball.
Offensive foul taken by Kane. Gardner-Webb fans want a foul. Excuse me. Turned over. Curran. Here she comes. Williams picks her pocket. The other way. Big South Player of the Year in the lane.
That's big. That's big.
Matthews guarding Jordan Edwards. Stain comes out to help. Skip pass disrupted. Curran for three. Off the mark. Bevis. 4 points today. Williams, perhaps a bit of an ISO here. Cuts through 3 defenders? How about that? 5-point lead. Jensen Edwards, no good on that one. Williams all alone for the rebound.
You see her, she is dead tired, but will not be denied.
Overtime yesterday. Hard-fought game today. Gets hacked.
3 purple jerseys there. It does not matter. You see here, she's getting downhill. She's making the refs have to call the call.
26 points and counting. Remember, she surpassed 2,000 career points at the beginning of this game, and she's...
It feels like a week ago at this point.
For High Point, they made it in 2021 with a lot of these players. They've got a taste. They want it again. Williams takes it away. Drives, gets fouled hard by McNear. See her numbers. I mean, now 28 points with that free throw. She has a chance to have just as many points as the rest of the team if she hits this next one.
We talked about how High Point decided to play Gardner-Webb with the front guarding, face guarding of Bevis and taking her off the table, which means that Jhessyka Williams had to take some of that offensive brunt. Alasia Smith is not in the game. Jhessyka Williams has had to take that offensive load.
Jhessyka Williams has scored the last 8 points for Gardner-Webb. They lead by 9.
But then also offensively, just getting to her isolated spots, creating balance, showing her ability to play outside, but also get downhill. And it's been tough for High Point to hone in on just her.
Curran, no good. McNear gets the rebound, short, runs into the... As here comes Williams, off to the races. My goodness. Unstoppable force.
She's not being denied. And that's how you have to be a championship team. Your ancillary players have to have an impact on the floor when your main players go down. Alasia Smith was out. Bevis was out. And you got some great production from Gardner-Webb's bench.
High Point struggling in this fourth quarter. They haven't scored. Cox, spin move.
And Cox celebrating. I think she's celebrating because she used that left hand. Something that she's developed over the years as she's gotten better and involved in this program in development.
Alasia Smith just got her 5th foul.
Yeah, and that's the ebbs and flows that come with being, the defensive player of the year. Somebody who plays with extreme emotion on how they defend the ball. They take pride in it. Gotten several fouls, but, you know, hats off to High Point for strategizing to make sure that they went at her early, got her in foul trouble so she could be out of the game, and giving themselves the best chance possible to stay in striking distance of this game. Yeah, Neok creating more opportunities. Alasia Smith comes out. She provides good minutes in that absence.
There's a turnover because Bevis just had nowhere to go. Excuse me, Jhessyka Williams with her third foul. Jensen Edwards stops the bleeding a little bit for High Point.
And yeah, High Point is going to have to get stops, but they're also going to have to score the ball, put it in the basket. Right now, Jensen Edwards got 18 points for the Panthers. They're going to have to get some production from Kern as well.
Cox on the rebound, gets shoved. She's going to the free throw line again. It's been 12 years since they were able to hoist the trophy and head to the big dance.
Yeah, because they have played a masterful game.
Terrell doesn't sink the three. Yeah, we saw this with Radford yesterday in the semifinal. Sometimes just run out of gas against a team like Gardner-Webb. Foul on the perimeter there.
They've got to put the nail in the coffin, though, and make sure they take care of the free throws. Continue to get stops on the defensive end.
Kane's a vet. He's got the first one.
Kane is continuing to good keep there for Edwards.
Explosive. Press from High Point. A little out of control there was Jensen Edwards. A valiant effort in this game. Absolutely. They lost twice, of course, to Gardner-Webb over the course of the regular season. Run the table and run through this championship game like they have all season.
They did a great job, valiant effort of just trying to fight and battle and claw, and it's not over yet. We can't say that it's over.
Unreal. Gets fouled. Bevis said, look, Williams is going to be in my wedding. Down the line, showing up in the championship. Big South here, trip to the big dance on the line. Under a minute to go as Matthews, who's back in, commits the foul. Jordan Edwards, good game for her defensively. 6 points, but just been a menace against Bevis all day. 67-59. That press for High Point. Kane breaks it and throws it to Cox, but before that, she got fouled. Baskerville with the foul. I think if Cox had scored that, this place might have erupted for Runnin Bulldogs fans.
You have some other players like Neok and Matthews who just serve as disruptors.
Neok just turned it over, but before that, she actually got fouled off the Curran miss. Yeah, Cox, 16 points, 15 rebounds. This is tough for High Point. Obviously, they were going to need a miracle. Now it's even more unlikely, especially with Bevis at the free throw line. 85% from the charity stripe. 40 seconds left in the Big South championship game. Williams just dribbles around, avoiding everybody, and she gets fouled.
Yeah, she's done a little bit of everything today, but also served as the bright spot on the defensive end and also rebounding the ball.
Curran, off balance, no. Another foul. Going to the charity stripe again as this one plays out. Gardner-Webb, 18-0.
And really, you got to tip your hat off to High Point, the respect that they deserve on how they came out in this game and stuck to the strategy, but come up against a juggernaut like Jhessyka Williams, and it's going to be tough to beat Gardner-Webb on any given night when she plays like that.
Woods with the 2. Sinks it. Clock is still running here. Bevis dribbling out of trouble. High Point's going to just let it run out, I think. Neok almost goes out of bounds. 6 seconds. The fans are on their feet. For the first time since 2011, Gardner-Webb is dancing.